Thank you very much, Mr. Garcia.
Thank you, Madam Chair, and Ranking Member Lucas for both of your leadership and partnership on this. Administrator, it's good to see you again, sir.
Thank you, sir.
When we last spoke, well, first of all, let me commend the achievements from last year. I mean, to be able to land on, send the Mars missions up, launch Americans from American soil in American-made hardware, and to have SpaceX recover safely 26 flights in 1 year, which is about 3 times what the space shuttle was able to do in 1 year during its best years, is a massive achievement in any year, but especially during a pandemic. I think we have proven out the government and commercial partnership aspects, and the model works. I think we need to figure out how to continue to accelerate that, incentivize industry, keep industry interested in these programs, and not grind them to a halt on contracting issues. To that point, I hope that is something that NASA is looking at, is how do we get folks on contract quicker? How do we maintain fixed price incentive fee contracting rather than cost plus incentive fee type contracts? There's a lot of ways to skin a cat, but as you know, there's a lot of ways to kill programs, and these are the barriers to entry that we sometimes see on the defense side. I want to just put a bow real quick on the HLS conversation. There's been a lot of discussion. The problem that we have with the August 4th decision is that between now and then, we're actually going through markups within the Appropriations Committee that I sit on as well. So I just want to put a bow on the acquisition strategy. You mentioned in the Appropes conversations a couple of weeks ago that this first HLS award was effectively a one-off demonstrator for the first mission. You used the word demonstrator again today. The inference of that would be that there are follow-on competitions, and that represents effectively your acquisition strategy. But that's not reflected either in the FY22 budget request nor the 5-year plan. And so just to make sure we're all on the same page, because there really is only 2 scenarios coming out of August 4th. Either the protest is upheld or it's not. If it's upheld, we still have a massive funding gap to the tune of $5.4 billion. That your plan is to use the Jobs Act to get healthy enough, either directly or indirectly through other programs, to pay for the follow-on HLS programs?
Well, that's up to you. That's up to you if you decide to appropriate the money in order to have these follow-on competitions and many landings, 1 a year over a decade. And by the way, they will be fixed price.
Good. Okay.
Fixed price contracts.
Good. I just want to make sure that ask is on the table, and that not only the authorizers but the appropriators are aware that is the plan to get whole on this overarching acquisition strategy. And if that's the case, that we need to codify that as we move through the next couple of weeks before August 4th. I resonate with the competition is good. We need to keep pushing in that direction, and I think NASA's doing a good job of that. More horses in the race is always good. I want to dive down into a couple specific programs as well, if you don't mind, Administrator. The Mars sample recovery, you mentioned early on that that was still something we were chasing. We have the rover now on the planet. We have it collecting samples here, but we don't have necessarily the program of record or the funding to bring back the samples. That could be a large bill. Where is that captured in the strategic plan or in the budget request?
It's being designed right now.
Okay.
And as soon as I've seen one concept. It's a very complicated concept. They want to make sure that the material is not contaminated once it comes back. All of this is done in a very elaborate instrument that they land on Mars, taking the sample that will be collected by this rover Perseverance, transferring it to the other, preparing it, and then putting it in effect in a capsule that then launches from the surface of Mars and comes back, and then comes back through with a heat shield through the entry of the atmosphere.
Okay, so we're still characterizing the price footprint of that design.
Yes, sir.
Going through design reviews. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Last, in the remaining 10 seconds, we have a program in my district called SOFIA. This is a 747 based infrared instrument, just upgraded with a new instrumentation system recently, partnership with Germany, lots of money being spent on that. That's set to be terminated within this budget request. I would request that you look at that, at least wait for the senior review in FY22 before we make any decisions. And happy to support you in those conversations and host you in our district for that as well. Thank you, Mr. Administrator.
Thank you, Congressman.